Good evening and welcome to the European show. It's just the two of us today. It's me and it's my friend, my tag team partner, Cal from Coppish. We were going to have Avi, but
we are the Dudley boys.
Yeah, the Dudley boys. Yeah. You guess which one's which? We were going to have Avi on there so he could be Spike Dudley, but for about Spain losing in European semi-final, he got very upset. So he didn't want to talk about it. I was like, okay, fair enough. So how are you, Cal?
Yeah, not too bad, bro. Not too bad. Feels weird. It's the last one we're doing, man.
I know.
Obviously, it won't be the last time we work together.
I was going to say that's a nice way to break it to me. There, like, just set me up there. Like that's it. I've done my shows. That's it. I'm done now.
No, it's like because obviously, like without going too much into personal, like you approached me with this idea ages ago, and I was like, yeah, I definitely want to be involved. And then I ended up missing the first show because I had to work late, and then but like it just feels like it's gone really quick. I've like first and foremost, great idea, and I've just loved doing the shows, man. And thank you for inviting me on. It's a real honor and pleasure.
It's because you've got a memory, mate. I can't remember how stuff happened. I just make it. I make it up, and then Laura Duffy corrects me.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say I see Laura in the chat tonight, so we're good.
Yeah,
we're gonna make mistakes.
That's the research. I mean, we give people one thing; they want more. So NBA says, "Finally, Big Ears is home." But lads, why are you not doing a special on 1920? Oscar, if we did a special on 1920, it'd be about a 6-hour show. I mean, let's face it, the first show, which Callum missed, luckily, was a 2.5-hour show. That was only on one tournament. Can you imagine what
that's pretty much a normal show length for Coppish, though, to be fair, isn't it? So
yeah, maybe we should develop the title with at some point. We might have to split it over about 3 shows into chunks because let's be fair, there's a lot to talk about in that. But anyway, so after depressing everyone with Basel and Athens and Kiev, obviously Kiev last week was tough. Probably not as tough as bringing up the first game because obviously that brought out an anger in me I forgot I had.
Yeah.
If you don't know,
who is that person, Chris?
Some German bellend we don't want to talk about. So, but we're going to do Madrid because it's well fun. It was a bit of a mad. It ended brilliant, but it was a bit mad the whole build up to it. So, obviously, we come off the back of Kiev. And we're all thinking like, well, let's see how next season goes. And we're being told Karius is staying. Danny Ward's number 1. Karius is dropping straight balls at me against Trami. Yeah. We're also there going, it's going well. This Fekir happened, then it didn't happen. I had to bring that up because I know it upset you.
Yeah.
He's doing well now for Real Betis because nobody else will touch it with a barge ball. Says it all really. But then we signed a goalie. He was quite good, didn't we?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, he's a guy that scores goals as well. So
yeah,
but I mean, a striker and a goalie in one.
Yeah, but I mean, how good can he be? I mean, we scored 7 past him. Can't be that good.
Yeah.
That was actually a take that was quite a few.
Yeah, it was. Well, people were saying, why would you get Alisson instead of Karius? He only conceded a certain amount of goals against Roma, and Alisson's conceded 7.
Although admittedly, some of that was luck because as we talked about, I think the Kolarov chance. So we signed him. We signed Naby Keita, this energetic, young, vibrant centre midfielder, box to box, going to set things up, going to score some goals. That hasn't quite happened.
Quite.
Hello, Matt from Coppish. He hasn't quite happened. And then obviously Mr. Shaq came. Shaq man, Power Cube. It was a bit of an icing on the cake, so we were quite pleased with. And there was one more. People are going to shout at me now because someone dead obvious forget. That's the one. He was quite good. I mean, the mad thing about it is we did a Chelsea, didn't we? Lost the final. Well, not lost the final. Chelsea won everything. But literally the day after the final, bang, there you go. Yeah. There's Fabinho. And you're like, oh, that's a step up.
Can I ask you a question going off topic, Chris?
Go on.
And it's just come to me. You see, everyone, including myself, always goes back to that summer and says, that is an amazing summer. Look how well we did that summer. And at the time, it was an amazing summer. However, in hindsight, only 2 out of 4 of those players really worked. So was it really as good as... And I'm not blaming the Klopp or Edwards for this. I'm just saying how football goes sometimes. Some players work out for you, some don't. But is it as successful as we make out it to be?
I think it is because I think they say it's a 50% hit rate, and they generally say with transfers, if 50% of your transfers come off, you're normally on a pretty high thing. Shaq actually has been, when he's fit, that's been the issue. But when he's been quite a useful squad player. I mean, that season he played quite a lot. I mean, we ended up playing 4-2-3-1 to basically accommodate him.
He didn't play from sort of from like January to the Champions League semi, and then didn't play again.
No, because from what I have read, he was carrying a calf or groin injury.
Yeah.
I mean, they're big calves to hurt, so it's probably kill you if it was one of our calves.
Exactly.
Keita at the time, hindsight's one. Keita at the time just looked like we'd bought ourselves a next level midfielder, and sadly for the lad, it just hasn't worked out. But Keita actually plays quite a lot of this. We'll go through later. It's amazing how many big games Keita starts. He starts an awful lot of
league. Oh yeah.
More than our captain.
Yeah.
We all, you, me, both rate our captain very highly, but there were games he didn't start, and it was, see what you think, really. So, Kev O'Sullivan, friend of the show. I hope you're well, Kev. Unfortunately, circumstances conspired against Naby. Hands up. I wanted him gone, but the guy has been absolutely no luck. Yeah, I think that's pretty fair, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like that. And Laura rightly points out, and I think also Kev Ball, Shaq 13 million. It's kind of worth a punt.
Yeah.
I think if we paid 30 for Shaq, I think then we'd all be going. So
I don't think we would ever have paid that much for Shaq, though.
No. I mean, to be honest, having been to a few games at Anfield, he does half burn Klopp's head out sometimes.
Yeah, I see him. Klopp's always having a go at him, it looks like.
He's like the naughty kid at school who just keeps getting told off. It's like, I'll just do it anyway.
I remember the game we played against Southampton in the league, I think it was, and we're winning 3-0 at half time, and Shaq played really well. We thought. And Klopp hooked him. I was like, wow. Hooked him.
Yeah. So, going into the season then, were you confident? How were you feeling about Europe or the league? Or
with Europe, I thought we could get to quarters or semi-finals. I always go into Europe now expecting to get out of the group. I know it sounds really entitled, but with Klopp and the players we have, I expect us to get out of the group, and I expect us to get to a quarterfinals or semi-finals minimum. The league, I thought we'd finish second, but I didn't think we'd run City as close. Because I thought at the time, the business we did, I thought we were literally a Fekir shy of winning the league that season. If we had signed Fekir that summer, I genuinely believe we'd have won the league that year.
Or if it's a company didn't hit a shot from 45 yards that he's never going to hit again. There's also that as well.
Yeah. But also, I think if we had just signed a creative midfielder, I think we'd have won the league that season. I think that's probably the one thing we've missed since that season. Probably still miss it now, potentially.
Because we have signed players who can do that. We have signed players who have Naby Keita, and to be fair, it's Chamberlain, but we just have the injury curse at the moment on that type of player. They're quite robust industrial styles players. We're quite good at keeping fit, apart from last season, but nobody can stay fit, apart from Salah, because he's just made of granite and nothing hurts him.
Touch wood.
So cool. Question for us here before we go into it from MC. Chris and Carl, what was the most entertaining game other than the 4-0 in the Champions League run? Porto away for me, partly because the game was fun, because you knew it was done, and I didn't have full concentration in the game because of other things going on in that in another time, which we will come to, because that was far more fun. So that one's for me.
For me, it's PSG at home.
I can't think why.
No, honestly, not even just because of that. It was the first time it was the first time I believe we played against Neymar. Obviously, Mbappe was there. Like, that was a big tie, and that PSG team was very good as well. And I just remember us playing them completely off the park, but they got 2 goals, one of which shouldn't have stood because he was offside, Thomas Meunier, and then the second we just defended really poorly. But that game had everything. It was great
berserk.
football. Great football. Had entertaining end to the game. It was just, for me, that was a game apart from the 4-0.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I was actually really entertained by the 3-0 loss against Barcelona as well. I thought we played really well in that game as well.
Yeah. Brett Steve said the away gate of Bayern. Good shout, to be fair. That's
great shout.
Very good shout. In that brilliant grey kit. I love that grey. It was a bit divisive. It was divisive, that grey kit, because it was a love-hate thing. I quite liked it. The home shirt, which I've managed to still fit in, somehow. Christ knows after lockdown. This is quite divisive because it wasn't universally loved.
That is
There's
one
a
of
lot.
my favourite kits of all time.
There was a lot of talk about the people love it more now because we've won a European Cup. And
Yeah.
You instantly like a kit when Europe's won. So
I'm sorry to cut you. I've got that kit in long sleeve and short sleeve. I love that kit.
Yeah, but you've got loads of money, that's why. So
yeah, I wish.
Cool. Who do you reckon got the most assists in this tournament then?
Assists.
Hurry up before Laura tells you.
I'm going to go with Salah.
Incorrect. Trent with 4.
Yes, that makes
Trent
sense.
4. It doesn't even. Salah had 2. Which, we had a handful on 2, a handful on 1. Admittedly, for one person there, 1 assist was probably the most crucial. We had Trent with 4. Salah, goal scorer, no real surprise there with 5. Firmino with 4. Christ knows where they came from.
That's weird though. That we you look at the season before. I think wasn't it Salah, Mane, and Firmino all got double figures in the Champions League.
Yeah, and then it drops down to. Isn't it mad that when Salah and Firmino don't score the most goals, we tend to win cups? We need to tell them to stop scoring.
Yeah,
we're actually better when they score less.
Yeah,
mad, isn't it? So group wise, we've got PSG, Napoli, and Red Stars. So I was thinking. I was quite pleased with the draw, thinking, I haven't seen this play PSG since the semi-finals of the Cup Winners' Cup. Well, so I was thinking that's a team I haven't played for a while. I'll stick at Napoli because we always feel like we play Napoli. It's Napoli or Porto for me. And Red Star was just a mad team. I've not seen Liverpool play. I mean, obviously, I know about Red Star's history of winning the European Cup, but even that could be an interesting team to play. So, opening game, we'll go through the games, but the opening game was entertaining because we had. No Bobby from the start because someone tried to kung fu kick him in the eye, which was
it was a finger in the eye.
Finger in the eye. Yeah, so we had that. Sturridge started. I think it's one of the few games he did start in Europe for us. Scored. What more can you ask for it? And then we conspired to try and give it away, and Bobby scores the end with the best goal celebration. It was quite poignant. It's quite iconic, that one there.
Oh, Chris.
It is iconic, that one. I must say, as soon as I see that, I think Champions League win.
Hold on, when you say iconic, is that a play on words as well?
No.
Well, it should be. You should take credit for that.
Okay, I'll take
credit.
Come
on, Chris. I'd say you take credit for that. You take credit for that. You take credit for that.
It's a wrestling one. Don't know what that is. You've already said
no, I'm talking about as in iconic.
Oh, right. I thought you meant the wrestling group iconics.
Oh, that as well. That as well.
I wish I was that clever, mate. I'm not that clever. You know me by now.
No, you get credit. We'll give you credit for it. The people don't know. We will give you credit.
As Laura Duffy says, icon. See, that's why we should have Laura on the show.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Iconic.
Brilliant.
Iconic.
Brilliant. Right. Anyway, so we get past PSG. Luckily for Salah, because I think he gives it away for their equaliser. And he's a very angry celebration when Bobby scores. I think it's relief.
Yeah.
So then
he got subbed, didn't he? He got subbed after that.
He did, yeah. He had a mare. Yeah, absolute mare early on in the tournament. So, I mean, it was a weird group stage because we were crap away from home. I mean, that's form kind of continues a bit further on into Europe, but we were crap away from home, but we always got the job done at home. Red Star Belgrade, you can slap them 4-0 at home, and then the away game, it's like we'd never seen each other.
Yeah, that was poor.
I mean, the 1-0 loss away to Roma probably flattered us, to be honest, because we were at Alisson top save away from being 2 or 3. So big game, Napoli at home, the weird permutation, you have to win 1-0 or you have to win by, we had to win by 2 clear goals.
2 clear goals, yeah, if they scored.
Yeah, so we got the early goal. It's bizarre goalkeeping. It dives out the way of the ball. It's like you watch Brad Jones in goal.
Yeah, he thinks Salah's going to cross it.
Yeah. So that's probably, and obviously he turned Koulibaly because, he's very overrated.
Yes.
And I know that's going to get me loads of tweets later, but he's very overrated.
He is.
I just don't get the hype.
At the time, though, I do think he was one of the better centre-backs in world football at the time.
Yeah, so, but after that, Liverpool tried their best to show every way they could of not scoring a goal. Yeah. And they did very, very well. Commentary, especially listening to Liverpool TV, is very wild because they're going mad saying Liverpool needs to get a second, needs to get a third. You go, no, what 1-0's enough. You don't want to play for 1-0. And the big save, is right at the end. So Degsy comes on. Poor Degsy. He's always at the scene of a crime. But in fairness, we are asking Degsy to play right back because Trent gets injured, and Degsy, bless him, is playing right back, which does, if anyone doesn't look like a right back, is a centre back.
Yeah.
This is the flight of the ball, and lots were saying it's right at him. He should do it. What do you expect? I don't think Alisson gets enough credit for his positioning and his footwork. Alisson's footwork when he's on song is one of the best in the league, which is why he makes saves look so simple, because he gets himself in the right position, or he gets himself to make difficult saves look easy. So let's see. But and then the other thing that happened at the end was right on full time. Story of his career, this isn't it? Matip has Koulibaly land on him and does his collar, does his collarbone, and that's Matip out for quite a bit the Christmas period. Who'd have thunk it? Matip getting injured on Christmas time. He just likes his turkey, doesn't he?
Doing a Neymar.
He was very much so, but we won't go into that. That's a story I don't want to go into. I can't afford it. So we finished the 9 points. I think we finished second of the group. Actually, we finished just about got through. I mean, you were looking thinking you only needed like a draw against Red Star Belgrade to make your life a lot easier. But how are you feeling then after the group stage? I mean, I must admit I was relieved, thinking, well, at least we're through. But I was thinking like we've probably just made life a bit more difficult for ourselves, because you're like, who are we going to get?
Yeah, I was more relieved than anything. I think going into that last game against Napoli, I thought we'd win, but as the game started to unfold and we kept missing chances, and if I'm not mistaken, I feel as though it was Mane who just kept on missing chance after chance. I was just like, they're going to get a chance, and they're going to score, and then it's just going to be us all over again. If that's obviously makes a save, and then
if that's Mignolet in goal, or possibly Karius, I don't think they saved that. So after the thirds, that's we go.
I didn't really fear anyone. I think I wanted to avoid a team like Atletico Madrid.
Yeah, we don't have good history there. After the third says, I think that's Koulibaly worse than Daniel Agger, Chris? It's thinking emoji. I think Avo's not forgiven me for saying
I haven't either.
That I just said Agger's good. He's not Sammy Hippier. He's not a leader. I don't think that's a particularly unfair, unpopular opinion. I don't particularly care either, but listen, Agger is like a Matip. He's a good number 2, but he's made up on crackers. Poor lad, he had no back. His back had absolutely gone. I mean, I think I've read stories. Wasn't it in his last 2 seasons for flights away? As soon as the plane took off, he had to stand the whole journey. Otherwise, he'd seize up. That's
crazy.
The poor fella had to retire. Was he 32?
Very early.
Yeah, I mean, it's harsh, that, because he had the talent. I've also people mistake thinking I said he wasn't talented. I just don't think he was as great as some of us make out. There are a few of us like that, but each their own. Everyone has their favourites. So the draw comes out. Bayern Munich. Now I must admit, I first went, ooh, but then I was like, where have they played Bayern Munich since the 70s? So I was quite excited, because I was like,
in the Champions League, we played them in the
Super Cup. Final. Yeah, but in like the Champions League, I thought we're playing the competitive Champions League thing since the 70s when Kennedy scored and Howard Gale. Sorry, he came on in that semi-final and gave them absolute hell. So I was like, oh, this will be good. The worry was going into the home game was we had no Van Dijk because he was suspended for his challenge which obviously got a lot of rivals very upset.
They still speak about it now.
And bless them. I love how people get upset over these sort of things. But we go on. So we had to play Fabinho at centre back. I mean, who would ever do that? Fabinho at centre back would matter. But again, Keita starts, Hendo starts, Gini starts. So it's a solid midfield. The usual front three, because who else are you going to put in? Yeah, I'm a bit like, so you were hopeful, thinking that I was going to thinking, I think Liverpool will get a lead. I just don't know if we'll keep a clean sheet, because it's Lewandowski, it's Muller, Gnabry was banging form. They have Kimmich. You were looking going, Thiago, he's quite good. We should sign him. They were looking at players going, they could cause us problems. So what we're going to do about it, so this will be interesting. And as Laura Wright points out, we also didn't have Lovren because he was injured. Shock horror. And Gomez was injured. Shock horror. So we're relying on Matip and Fabinho to keep us in a game. This sounds very familiar, doesn't it? It's almost like foreboding of what's going to come.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It was very poetic. It was almost like Klopp tried it in that game just to see how it would work because he knew it was going to happen one day.
Yeah, so, it was interesting. Now, it was a good game, though. Liverpool had chances. The best thing that happened for us in the game was Manny got Kimmich booked, as in drew him into a stupid chance to get him out the second leg, which I was quite pleased about because it meant they're going to play. Was it Rafinha?
Didn't Kimmich play? He didn't play the second leg.
No, because he was suspended.
Oh, you're right.
Because
I remember Kimmich having a really good game though, and I remember Kimmich roaring in Mane's face.
Yeah, and Mane smirking.
Yeah,
I think this is just it was just after he got in booked. I think Mane always gone. You're gone next, make it. So and let's play. Is it Rafinha right back? He was crap. Put it away. It's the thing with Bayern's depth is some of their backups are not backups that you want. PSG have had a similar problem over the years. They're not quite the backup levels that you want.
Yeah.
As Laura rightly points out, in fact, let's bring Laura's comments up in fairness.
Shout out to Laura as always.
Yeah, Manny did have a bunch of chances, kept missing them. 8 big chances missed. That wouldn't surprise me. We've always been a bit like that in these games. We'll do that. And the MC,
I don't think that was just in one game. Surely not.
I wouldn't surprise me.
That must have been throughout the tournament. There's no way he could have missed 8 big chances in one game. That's criminal.
That's Bobby levels. Come on. We're not doing that.
I'll give you that. First shot. I give you that.
I fired it. They'll come back. So Laura said, no, not in one game. I'm sure Laura sat there shaking her head going, why are these still on a show?
Yeah.
How do these two get on a show ever? I'm sure Gav wonders that sometimes as well. So it was very interesting, the change in the media and the outset, because lots were seeing that as a terrible result. I was frustrated because I thought we've got to go there now and score. But then I was looking at Liverpool thinking, well, we're more solid now. We only need a draw. They have to win. And I had the thing in my head was the no own goal thing is just perfect because away goal. That's what I was always worried about. It was the away goal. So that's what I was concerned about. Is we didn't concede an away goal, and we knew we had Virgil back. So naturally, you're stronger. Yeah. So now, as always with Liverpool fans, the team came out for Bayern away, and it was the Brexit midfield as it has been renamed. Midfield. And they're shit hit the fan with that. I mean, look, I understand why people would have wanted Fabinho to play. I get it, but it was a midfield that had done well for us. I think there are questions about does it do as well as it should do away from home, but you're like, there's enough pros there, and we had strength and depth on the bench, so I was all right with it. I mean, now admittedly, we didn't start the sharpest, and we lose Henderson after 13 minutes. So Fabinho comes with anyway, so everyone's made up. I think it's the Milner one that always seems to wind people up. I don't know why. He does quite well for us in Europe, but people get really wound up with Jamie Milner. Yeah. So how are you feeling anyway going into this game?
When I saw the midfield, I was one of those fans who was frustrated because I just think I get what Klopp was trying to do. He's trying to keep things solid, but I'm just like, I personally thought we could get at this Bayern Munich team, especially with no Kimmich as well. I was just thinking, yes, we can get at this team. So let's go and actually go for that away goal. Because even if they score first, we all know we still only need one. And that team was more than capable of getting a goal. So I was a bit annoyed seeing that because I'd have liked to have seen Fabinho start. And at that time, I'd have liked to see Keita start as well. If I'm not mistaken, he was fit for that game.
Who knows? Probably.
Yeah, but I'd have liked to have seen one of them too.
Let's check. Was he on the bench? He wasn't even in the squad.
I wasn't in the squad. Okay, then it would have been Fabinho I wanted to start then.
What a shock. He must have been injured.
Yeah. Surprise.
So, but I mean, look, they had James Rodriguez was playing, part of the Mersey power shift. So, we had to be worried. But then that first goal, I can still hear the ping now of Virgil's boot for, having watched some of the highlights back of this again just to cheer myself up, you do realise how much you missed that long ball that Virgil can play. gives you so many options. And then I don't know where Neuer's going. He's coming to no man's land. He's just sent for the echo, as they say, and buried it. And I was bouncing then, thinking, sat at home watching this, bouncing, thinking, away goal now. And around that time with the clock, we weren't conceding many.
No,
we might concede one, but 2 or 3, you were going, I think we'll be all right here. And then Liverpool, they fall asleep at a free kick. It's a quick free kick. Robson doesn't close the cross down, and it's a great finish by Matip. Matip does really well to put it past Alisson because he's got no chance.
That was probably the first game that Robbo played where he did look phenomenal.
Switched on. Yeah,
but I think that was down to Gnabry as well. Gnabry just had a great game.
Yeah, he did. So half time, 1-1. I was fairly comfortable, thinking we should be all right here. Couple of early scares in the second half, but all in all, we looked pretty controlled. And then we get a corner, and this is where this is where we forget what it's like having Virgil van Dijk for corners, because it's a bullet. No keeper saving that.
Unsavable.
And you're sort of thinking, I was going 2-1. I was pretty much going, game done. Yeah. We ain't conceding 3.
Yeah.
We're in the next round, and we're beating Bayern Munich. I was thinking, like, this is, as European, I go, this is a great European away, because we don't do, we haven't had many big wins recently away from home. Yeah. MC, I think it's gone in a couple of times. Then we have the third goal, and
what a cross.
Unreal, innit?
Oh,
I'll let you talk through it.
When people speak about Salah and they say he's got no creativity, you have to watch the guy play. Like, this cross of the outside of his foot, just perfectly placed. He had no right to do that. If Kevin De Bruyne does that, everyone's going crazy about it. Salah does that quite often for Liverpool. Like, that goal, man, quality. Salah had a really good game that day. Mane got all the headlines because of the 2 goals, and rightly so. But Salah was excellent that day as well. Really was quality. Yeah,
I mean, sub-wise, we just brought Divock on for Bobby. I think Divock's touch was pass it to Salah, and he set up a goal. So thinking that's an involvement. And then just because we're trolling Bayern, we give Lallana a 3-minute run out for James Milner. So that's when we're taking the mickey a little bit, because poor Adam, he was never he just struggled with fitness. Legs are gone. He just struggled with fitness, unfortunately. And then to make matters even better, we get our favourite team in the next round, bloody Porto. So we should have known we go to the final. That's what we do when we play Porto. The only difference was we had the home leg first. Now I went to this game, and as much as I think Mickey out, Naby had a really good game in this game.
Yeah, he got the first, didn't he?
Yeah, but what was good about this, what was interesting about this game is no Robertson, not even in the squad. We had Nilly at left back, just for a bit of a change. I think he must have picked up a knock.
He must have done.
Or Klopp was doing a bit of rotation, but we had Nilly at left back, which obviously you do worry about Lily a little bit, because I'm a bit like, he's not the youngest, but ball falls to Naby.
Oh, good. Robbo's apparently suspended. He got he got suspended in the quarterfinals.
There we go. Is that Laura again?
No, there's quite a few in the chat with that one actually. Laura is there as well, though.
Yeah, fair enough. So first goal, decent. Naby hit. He was very excitable. We were all pretty made up. Thought good early start. And then the second goal, the Bobby goal, is a wonderful team goal. Again, dispels the bollocks that all Henderson does is pass it sideways. It is a defense splitting pass, right into Trent's feet, and then he just sets up a nice easy tap in for Bobby. It's a wonderful, wonderful team goal. To be honest, we were all like 2-0. This is easy. This is going to be another like 4-5-0. This we'll enjoy this. Didn't really go like that second half. I'll be honest. They should have scored at least 1, maybe 2. They had an optimistic shout for a handball against Trent. I think the VR was around then, so they weren't given that. But I must admit, I did come away from that game thinking Porto aren't as bad as we thought they were. And I was thinking like this is going to be a trickier away side than I think most thought it would be, because I must admit at half time I was thinking it's going to be 3 or 4 and we could play all the kids in the second leg. Now you realise we've got a game on here. We're actually going to have to step our level up. So away at Porto, we don't start very well. I think Porto are all over us, and we really are a bit like, this is not what we were expecting from a Liverpool performance away in Porto. It's not the best.
No, really poor. I was actually getting worried because I thought to myself, if Porto get an early goal, it's going to make it a very, very tough game.
I remember we had no Henderson starts, and he was on the bench this time, so it was Millie, Fab, and Genie. So again, we're always rotating that midfield, and Bobby doesn't start either. It's a big dip. We play Big Divock up front. In fact, we played Divock. We played Divock more wide because that's what he does.
Yeah,
it doesn't really work. I think the idea was to try and rest some legs, but we never quite got the balance right. And then this is probably the first game where VAR became a thing.
Yeah.
So Salah has a shot come cross. Manny taps it in. He looks miles off.
Yeah.
Even Manny doesn't react, like, oh, it looks miles off. Anyway, so you start there waiting and you're going, it's taking a while for them to say, no, go, looks offside. And you can see Salah is stood right over the ref. And after a while, you're going, they're not going to give it. And you can see Salah turns and celebrates and they go, he's giving it. And when they show the replay, he's square.
Yeah.
That's you see VAR at his best. You're like going, I think that's our first VAR goal. So we're like going, that's not bad, this VAR, is it?
Yeah.
You know, it helps the game. In Europe.
It was brilliant. Yeah, it was brilliant. That goal goes in, the game and the tie is completely done. There's no way we're going to concede 4 to that Porto team.
You wouldn't have thought so, no. You were kind of more confident then that I think we're done. So half time it is 1-0. And then do you want to talk us through the Salah goal?
Yeah, so Salah was the breakaway, right?
Yep.
So Trent, I remember it now. Trent with a Gerrard-esque pass. In fact, do you know what? That's a disservice to Trent. Trent with a Trent-esque pass.
Yeah.
Just splitting the midfield and the defense, and just played into the path of Salah, and then Salah slides underneath Casillas.
Yeah, because very good. They get one back from a corner. Milito.
Milito. He had a very good game over both games. Actually, played really well.
Well, this got him his move to Real Madrid, didn't it? Worked out well for him.
we were really in for him as well that summer. We really liked him.
I thought it was good. So then we bring up you like everyone who's not ours. This one, Liverpool could calm down because we just took Trent off for Joe Gomez. We're playing Joe Gomez at right back, and then with 20 to go, we bring Henderson on for Robbo. So we actually rest both fullbacks, which is something we don't do very often. And captain does what captain does, gets on, brilliant cross. Even Bobby can't miss the header from there. It's a great cross, nice finish. You're going. This is easy. This 3-1. What's going on now? I'll be honest. I missed the fourth goal, because my phone started flash up saying, "Have you seen what's going on in the other game?" I was like, "What?" And this was the City Tottenham game.
Oh yes.
And I've started to see like Tottenham is still winning. What? After a while, you're going, it's 3-1. We're through anyway. And I must admit, I was channel flicking between the two, going, City equalised. Oh God! And then you saw their goal. So I must admit, I flicked back just in time for us. I think for the corner for Van Dijk to score.
Yeah.
And literally, as soon as Van Dijk scored, I just turned the game over. Then I went, done. I don't need to watch any more of this. And I solely focused then on the City Tottenham game because I was convinced we were getting City in the next round. I was convinced we're going to have to beat City again. It felt that way. And I saw possibly one of the best bits of TV sport ever. Now, if you're a City fan, it's the worst thing ever. And I think if you're a Tottenham fan, it probably felt like the worst thing ever.
It was
Sterling scores, and you're thinking, oh, they always do this. Get your hopes that you think City are going to lose it. And then it's Jermaine Genius as well, being a big Tottenham boy that he is. He's going like, I think we're going to disallow it. And I always remember Lloris's face where he walks over the ball and you see Lloris smirk going like, as in like, it's off. Yeah. I mean, it's fair. When you watch the replay, he's quite clearly off by a good yard or so.
Yeah.
How the Lions have missed it, I'll never know. But I was looking going, I did enjoy that, thinking, oh God, City are out. So thinking Bayern are out, City are out. You're sort of thinking, do you know what? This is open up for us. Thinking, well, I fancy us against Tottenham. I think, even Ajax, you thought, well, Ajax are a really good side, but, I'd fancy us against that. Red Steve says, I always thought Chris was a flicker. Charming. I'm getting some sticks tonight, aren't I? I don't know. And then Barcelona came out. You're like, Oh, vibes 2001. This.
Yeah, I thought we were going to get Barca in the final.
Yeah, I mean, I was quite pleased to got Barca over 2 legs because Klopp's record over 2 legs is still very good. He doesn't lose. He's only lost. Well, I think now it's 2-legged ties.
Yeah, I think before the Atletico Madrid, he hadn't lost one with us, had he?
Yeah. So so
that's crazy. That is crazy.
But even his record at Dortmund was pretty good. He didn't lose many at Dortmund either. So Klopp knows 2-legged ties. He works on. He's getting better at his finals. But so
yeah,
I was going to Barcelona away, confident we'd get something. I thought we might take like a score loss, and I was thinking I can live with that because Barca still had Suarez, still had Messi, Rakitic, Coutinho. Obviously, that the story's written, for Coutinho to score. They have a fantastic goalkeeper as well. So you're thinking like this is going to be a tough game. Now the team comes out, and I can see what Klopp's going to do. It's Joe Gomez at right back, no Trent. He's gone for the solid option, which, to be fair to him, in the run to Kiev, he'd done very similar, and it had worked for us. And it was Genie false 9, because Bobby was carrying a groin injury, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He sort of hampered him in the last month of the season. So, bit mad. And then you're thinking, or is it a 4-4-2 with a 2 up front? It was definitely Genie playing up front, and bless him, he tried his best, but Genie's not a false 9. But I thought we played quite well, and especially in the first half. Again, Liverpool just didn't take the chances, didn't work hard, didn't quite work the keeper hard enough as you would have thought. And then our mate scores, and I think this is where a lot of Liverpool fans. Now, were you surprised by Suarez's goal celebration and the big G in it up and the giving it all that?
No, not at all.
Neither was I.
That's what Suarez all the time. That's Suarez all over. You celebrate a goal against his children, like.
But I was more surprised how many people got worked up and said, "Can you believe in that case his old club?" I was like, "Did you see him play for us?
Yeah.
He doesn't care. Yeah. He'd step over his granny to get a goal. He wouldn't care. He'd bite his granny to get a goal, probably."
He's just a serial winner who will win at all costs. We've seen that. That.
Yeah. So I think it pissed me off at the time. He's like, "Oh, it would be him." And you sort of shout a few expletives because he scored. But I was also like, what do you expect him to do? Yeah. What do you expect him to do?
If that was Coutinho you celebrate, then I'd have been shocked. Because I wouldn't have expected that from Coutinho's character. But
yeah, Lord's right. Well, look, he didn't bite anyone. So, so thank God for small mercies. So, so we went half-time, 1-0 down. I don't think we played that bad. I was a bit frustrated at our crapness of taking chances. But you're like, 1-0 is not the end of the world for us. Second half started very similar. Unfortunately, a lot of the chances fell to James Milner or fell to the play. It didn't fall to a Mane or a Salah. It always fell to players like, it's just not going to quite work for them.
Say that though, Mane got put through. I can't remember if it was the first or second half, and he was 1-on-1 and just skied it. So no one was hitting anything that night.
No, it did feel like one of those. Nagy Mohammed, please hope I've said your name right there. Bring it up. This was the start of Suarez versus Robbo, which does go into round 2 in the second leg. So then Barca get a second. I'll let you talk about the second. It's a bit of a goal.
The ball just ricochets about and just falls perfectly to the last person. Well, to be fair, anyone would have scored, but it's the last person you want it to fall to, and that is Lionel Messi.
He's quite good at it.
Yeah,
he's quite handy at it.
He's decent. I mean, a couple of records and stuff.
Yeah, I'm not sure he could do it away at Stoke, but we'll see. I'm joking for them. God, people take that too literally.
Yeah.
And then with about 8 minutes to go, Lionel Messi punches Fabinho in the head and gets a free kick, which is a new rule on me. Apparently, Lionel Messi, just stick your arm to one's face, you get a free kick. And you're like, okay. Free kick. No. But as MC put, and I'll be honest, I was feeling pretty much the same. Well, it's a ridiculously brilliant goal. If you haven't seen it, I mean, look, I don't know how you've not seen it. It's goal of the tournament. Because this is top corner, it bends, it does everything. Alisson's got absolutely no chance. And I must admit, he was just thinking, oh, this is how it's going to end. And you sat there going, we're 3-0 down. We've played
really well,
and got nothing for it. We've played worse than this and won. So you were feeling really, really sick. And then you're thinking, can we just get one back? Can we just get one back? And as our friend here mentions, Salah open goal, it's the post.
And then Bobby misses I think the Bobby shoots straight after that, and it's cleared off the line.
It's clear off the line. Bobby doesn't look fit when he comes on. He wasn't. After 2 minutes of running, you're going, I don't know why you brought him on. He doesn't look fit. And then obviously with 6 minutes to go, you bring Origi on for Milner because
you have to get a goal.
Well, yeah, because that's going to work, isn't it? That's how you felt. I must admit, that's how I felt at the time. You're like, oh, I know Origi got some good goals for us, but you're a bit like, oh. So game finishes 3-0. I've got to admit, and I can openly admit it, and they all say doubts to believers. I pretty much gone, well, that's the Champions League over then.
No.
And then that's how I felt. The reason I felt like that gone was I then went out to town with my friends and my family to watch the Newcastle game and the Origi winner against Newcastle. And you know what? Everyone went berserk. I think I just sat there a bit relieved, but I was a bit pissed off because I was going, great, yeah, we can just about beat Newcastle 2-1. But I was still seething going, we've just lost to Bayern 3-0. And then we saw Kompany do his infamous goal against Leicester. And I was a bit sat there going, this just isn't fair. We're actually going to miss out on the league by not very much. And we've just been now we've got to go to beat Barcelona 4-0, and it'll probably be like a glorious failure, as in like we'll win 2-0 and we'll go, well, that was a nice run. But as the game got closer, I was feeling more up for it. My dad went to this with my brother. He brought up my dad this time, so I was sat watching at home thinking, fingers crossed, hope it goes well. How are you thinking?
So mine goes back to the first leg when Dembele missed that chance. I remember so here's a joke. One of my cousins-in-law called me. He's a Chelsea fan. He called me after the game. He was laughing, and he's like, "You're done. You're out." And I said to him, "I was like, it's not over." And he was like, "Oh, you're so delusional. I hate Liverpool fans like you. So delusional." I was like, "Look, we played better than them." I said to him, "I was like, look." We played better than them. Lost 3-0, granted, but we played better than them. We should have had 3 goals ourselves. And the chance they just missed at the end, there's a reason Messi reacted like that, because he knows the game's not over. And he's like, nope, it's done. You need to score 4 without reply. And I was like, yeah, but it's not impossible. I was like, I actually think we'll go through. And he was like, whatever, you stupid. I was like, all right, cool. Maybe I am. But I just felt it. I just felt we'd go through.
To be fair, shout out to a friend of mine, John. Obviously, we have a WhatsApp group, which is my mates, but obviously United fans. The Everton fan in there was obviously very buoyant. It's like Christmas for him.
Yeah.
And John had one reply, and he goes, "We'll just have to win 4-0." He said, "We'll just win 4-0 next game then." And he just left it at that. I didn't reply to any of the messages and went off. And in hindsight, you're thinking, "Oh yeah, perfect response." So the other thing that didn't help, which also upset me with the Newcastle game, is Salah was out, concussed, got cleaned out by a keeper. Accidental, but concussion rules are he can't play. So Salah's out. There's all the talk of Bobby's touch and go. It's not. It says it all when you're talking about young Graham Brewster saying, well, Brewster could come on and do something. And it's not a Champions League semi-final without Ben Woodburn on the bench. So we're sat there going, oh, God. Because, the bench was Mignolet, Lovren, Gomez, Gini, Sturridge, Brewster, and Woodburn. So, I was looking at the bench going, well, Gini might come on, Sturridge might come on, and that's about it, really, because what else we got? So,
and Lovren, I thought if we were in a good position, if we was like 3-0 or 4-0, then maybe
I still be bringing Gomez over Lovren, I must admit. But
that's the point,
yeah. But so team was the back four. Gomez could not get after breaking his ankle against Burnley, could not get his place back off Matip. Matip was just in form of his career and fitness of his career, to be fair.
Yeah.
Midfield was Millie, Fab, and Henderson. So you're thinking, yeah, can see that. The front three, you're going, it was Origi, which people are Shaq, who came out of nowhere, and Manny. So you were looking, going, it's literally Manny's the only man for us here. And to be fair, we'll talk about the whole game. Manny does not get enough credit for that game. Although he doesn't score, he does get it. He leads the line. He runs them ragged. He brings everyone up a level. Bless Shaqiri. We'll talk about his positive contribution, but Christ, mate, in that first half, he couldn't kick a ball 2 yards. He just kept losing the ball. He was in the wrong position. I thought Klopp was going to lamp him at one point. I think some of the crowd were going to do that as well.
He was poor that day.
But at the end of the day, also you're going, he hasn't played very much though, so that's also an issue. But the frustration was you're going, he just set up the winner against Newcastle. So you're thinking, he's got that in his locker. Yeah. It's just when it comes out of his locker, which is not as often as you would like.
Precisely.
So, but perfect start. 4 minutes in, Henderson makes a breakthrough, and first to Henderson, he should score.
He should score, yeah.
He should. Ter Stegen saves it, and Big Diffox there for a tap, and you're like,
I think Ter Stegen should do better with the save as well.
He should do better most of the game, but we'll come to that. And he's thinking, well, good start. What we only need two more, and I'd take some extra time trying to kid myself on. But I was pleased we've got a good start, and I think that helped the crowd because the crowd was brilliant that night. Yeah. And then Barca did get back into it. Luis Suarez did his usual trick. I mean, Fabinho gets booked for one of the great tackles. Takes everything. Ball, clean as you like. Suarez does his pirouette, and he gets booked. And he gets booked very early, about 10 minutes into the game. Yeah. He's booked, and you're going, 10 minutes. And to be fair to the referee, it's the Turkish referee whose name escapes me. I think he's a good ref. And to be fair, he refs the game. I think he got a bit card happy for that, because to me, it was a good tackle. So credit to Fabinho, because he plays 80 minutes on a yellow card against the likes of Suarez and Rakitic, who know how to get you. Yeah. They know how to get you booked. But then it became a bit of the Silver Surfer show then, because Alisson and his one and only silver kit that he had on, grey silver kit, just kept making saves. And he made some good saves. I think Coutinho has a chance. What the criticism of Alisson was when he first came to the club was when he'd save stuff, he'd palm it into the middle. He got much better at everything he saved was wide, it was out, it was away from a danger area. The only time he palms it through the middle is when he thinks that's the safest place to go.
Yeah.
Kev rightly points out, we also had the infamous Robbo incident where he slaps Messi on the back of the head, which Messi doesn't like. I love an interview since then. He's talked about that going, I don't know why I did that really, but I thought I like the fact because it winds other fans up, but I think it also shows we're not scared of you. I don't care if you're Lionel Messi, I'm going to floor you.
Yeah, Robbo did that because Messi was trying to get a player. He's trying to either win a free kick or get a player booked, and Robbo was just like that.
Looked in his head.
Yeah.
So you're thinking like, well, that's what he wants. In one of the build-ups, Suarez with quite a cute boot, basically back heel kicks Robbo, and to be fair, that kind of does Robbo because he plays the last 15 minutes not injured. I mean, he does get a shot off. To be fair, it's right. The keeper. I mean, the keeper. It's like a FIFA keeper. Just catch it.
Yeah,
just catch it.
So poor.
It's unusual because he's a very good keeper.
Yeah,
Ter Stegen, but it was just like that occasion got to him or something. As quite a few points out, I think Bonkers have pointed out, Raji Kumar's pointed out is Alisson save from Alaba right on half time. It's
Messi's pass.
Messi's pass because it's our corner and the breakaway. It reminded me of like our one against West Ham in the bright orange kit.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen the West Ham fan video of that, it's the funniest thing you've ever seen in your life. Just YouTube it. Honestly, all he says is, "But it's our corner and they've scored." And that's all he could say for 5 minutes. It's so funny. But Alisson get big arm to it, keeps it out, and look, I'm thinking half time 1-0. I have a friend Steve who's probably more glass half empty than glass half full. He's going, well, at least we've got something, but they'll score. They're going to score. And I was just thinking in my head, if we just keep it to the hour mark at 1-0, I fancy then just to try and make it a mad half hour and we'll just see what happens. Because Alisson thought was having the game of his life. And then it comes up, Robbo's done. He's out. Gini comes on and Millie goes to left back. Again, poor Millie. One of these days he'll have a season where he doesn't play left back. I don't know when it's going to be like. But so I must admit, that did take the wind out of a few people's sails. You're like going, God, now you've lost your best left back, you've lost your best striker, you've lost Bobby. You're a bit like, this is going to be tough. But look, Liverpool have the ball, and I'll let you talk through how it unfolds.
I think what gave me hope with Millie going left back is Dembele was out for the game. So Barca didn't have anyone naturally play on that right-hand side because even though they went with a front three of Coutinho, Suarez and Messi, Messi wasn't playing on the right. Messi picks up central area. So effectively Milner wasn't having to man mark or go up against anyone in any sort of duels. I mean, I think it was Sergi Roberto playing right back, and then they brought on Semedo at one stage. But again, neither of them were really attacking down that side. All the attacks were coming through the middle or from the left-hand side. So I think, again, this is not to discredit Milner because he played excellent second half, and first half he was brilliant as well. But I don't think he had any particular challenges, which worked very well for us because it allowed us to kind of overload the middle of the park because Millie could push right up and sort of support the midfielders as well.
Plus, having Virgil van Dijk next year helps because you've got pace next year, which did help him. So 54 minutes, Trent gets the ball. He tries to cut it inside, loses it.
Yeah.
Wins it back, drives, cuts across it. I think he does take a deflection. And as he crosses it, I'm shouting, who's in the box? It falls to Gini. It hits it clean, right at the keeper, who manages to dive over his armpit, hit his back, and go in.
Yeah.
And
poor goal.
We could all save us now. I think he should save it.
Yeah, he could have saved it with his feet.
At the time, I was screaming, game on, game on. This is what we want. So that was 54 minutes. That's a 1.5 minute delay because as Gini takes the ball off Ter Stegen, he's rolling around the goal like his head's been shot off.
Yeah.
And it is checking for a potential red card, which the commentary don't pick up on. Because you can see Hendo going, he just takes the ball back. What do you mean?
Yeah.
So now the noise, there's two things I asked you to find on YouTube. One is BBC the BBC commentary. Now listen, I'll give Alan Shearer loads of shit. Because most of the time he deserves it because he's horrendous. To be fair to him, his commentary in this game is brilliant. There's about a 15-minute clip that someone's done of the BBC commentary with him in it, and it's really, really good. There's also ones I think Liverpool TV have done without commentary.
Yeah.
The roar from that goal is still going because the actual pitch time between the first goal and second goal is less than a minute. It's just a 2-minute delay because of all the talk. Because literally from the kickoff, we take it straight up, ball goes out wide to Origi. He does a Cruyff turn to nobody, puts a cross in which goes over everybody's head, falls to Shaq, who gives it to Millie. Millie looks up, cuts it back to Shaq, and Shaq first time whips it in, and you just have if you've seen Liverpool T, Wijnaldum and Gillespie just going, "Oh my goodness gracious me," which doesn't sound very exciting.
The way he says
in the context,
his voice breaks, doesn't it?
It breaks because it's pure shock of and it's a fabulous header. Keeper's got no chance. It's a glorious header for such a. He's not the tallest fellow, Wijnaldum. He's got a hell of a leap at him, and he loves semi-final. He loves semi-final goals, doesn't he?
Yeah, his headering, his timing from headering is impeccable. One of the best we've seen from a Liverpool player in recent years.
Yeah, Darren Fletcher on BT was also to be fair to, Darren Fletcher on BT is actually really good for European games as well to him. So, and then obviously you've got the LFC TV commentary for the audio version, which is Aldo and Steve Hunter. If you've never heard Steve Hunter commentate, he's the most enthusiastic commentator you'll ever see. But if you watch how enthusiastic he is for this game, I've heard him do under 18s games. I've seen him at the women's games. Brilliant. He has that level, whether it is anybody. As long as it's do with Liverpool, he does the commentary. He's brilliant. And if you meet him, he's the nicest fella you'll ever meet. I've met him a few times at the women's game. He's a lovely fella. Dead approachable. We'll just chat to you about football, chat to you about what he does. He's really, really nice. I'd love to actually get him on a show, actually, because he's had an interesting career because he's been with Liverpool a long time. So I must admit, I'm like, bloody hell, it's 3-3. This is mad. God, we're going to take this to extra time. And then I looked down and went, shit, it's 56 minutes. Because I must admit, you feel like in one of those games when you score that goal, you're thinking, that's like 5 minutes to go. And, we're going to 6 time. You're like going, and almost the fear came in there going,
they've got a lot of time.
Just a lot of time. The Barca, you could tell, flip the lid because they take Coutinho off and put on the right back, right mid. They've gone, we're just going to shut up shop now. We're sticking with 3-3 and basically hope Suarez or Messi win it for us.
Yeah.
It's not the worst tactic, to be fair, because Suarez or Messi do that quite a lot. So how are you feeling then at 3-3? Talk me through your game from there.
It was a weird feeling. I was thinking to myself, this is amazing. But I was 50-50 because I was like, in an ideal world, you get that goal around the 80th minute. Barca try and start attacking and you pick them off with a counter attack. But there's a long, long time to go. Plus, for me, it was sort of a case of, do you go for the fourth now, or do you kind of just keep playing your game and see what happens? Like you kind of caught in that no man's land.
Yeah. As Red Steve points out, I think Barca's heads did go because
Coutinho
knew, but also I think the heads went because they'd had this done to them by Roma the year before, and the Roma job was not as hard because Roma had the away goal, so they only had to win 3-0. So they're all going like, Christ, this is 2 games in a row. This is, what's going on here?
Yeah.
But even then, they still had chances because I think Suarez has a chance. I think it's actually before we make it 2-0 where he's clean through, he puts it wide. And you are watching it going, this is just going to be horrendous. So they take off Vidal and bring on Arthur, who I had to Google who he was because they'd signed him. Yeah, him or Mello to his mates. They brought him on. He's made no deal difference. Vidal was quite anonymous in the game. Bit of an enigma, Vidal. On his day, he was brilliant, but didn't really appear.
Didn't work for Barcelona.
No. So then Trent gets the ball, obviously, and Fletcher is quite rightly talking. So he wins a corner. He goes, he's such an intelligent footballer. And then he goes for, he's done him. He's done it. It's a weird commentary. Everyone goes, what's that? And obviously Steve Hunter comes up with the most iconic phrase, which is corner taken quickly, Origi, which is still goes down for Liverpool as one of the best commentary moments ever. And fair play to her. But if you ever watch the video back and say, he says, corner taken Origi, watch Aldo. Aldo's not even watching the game. He's too busy looking at the fans going, we got a corner, this is boss, this. Yeah. And when he hears Origi go, you see Aldo look, cheers, and then he looks again at the monitor and goes, oh, wow, what a goal.
I love Aldo.
I spoke to brother. Brother said, there's people around there that didn't realize we'd scored, or all going, who's that? Who scored? That will be allowed. Because I must admit, there was that thing in my head going, they're going to disallow this just because they can. And I was like, but credit back, as a few people have put, Kerryl Sullivan's just put up here, but if you have the ball boy from that game has just signed his first pro deal.
Yes, he has. He's already a legend.
Which is a lovely, lovely bit of Liverpool history that he's now signed a profile. I mean, if he makes a debut for Liverpool, that'd be brilliant. But it's clever thinking. The other person who does get also remarks is clever thinking. It's Divock, because while the lad throws the ball back for the quick ball, there is a second ball on the pitch, which Divock kicks off quickly. But first, when you watch it back, it's not a tap-in. It bounces up. It's actually the half volley. It's a hard finish. And I thought Piqué was going to get his hand to it, to be honest. I thought Piqué was going to try and tip it over and get away with it. So then you're going, I must admit, my head went. I think my head went dizzy. I was screaming the house down. As you can imagine, I was getting told off again because it's what I do at home. Just screaming the house down. I probably should watch it somewhere else, really. But, and then you look at the time going, there's 10 minutes to go, and you're thinking, we're going to get the onslaught now. What is coming? So their changes, they take off Rakitic and bring on Malcolm, the guy they bought from Marseille. Bordeaux never really worked. It's a bit of a weird sign. I mean, Barcelona weird signings.
Yeah, Barcelona being Barcelona, trying to do another club over, and it backfires on them.
Yeah. So Liverpool are obviously trying to keep it tight. We then get what became a brilliant gif, which is Genie sending 2 guys for the Echo, where he just gets the ball and just one turn, both of them gone. It's just ridiculously bit of skill. So then we're about to take Shaq off for Joe Gomez, and Divock Origi goes down. It's basically cramped up. I mean, first Divock, he's barely played, so we had to take big Divock off. So Shaq had to play a bit more. I mean, first to Shaq, he set up the equaliser. But other than that, he was a bit of a spare part in that game.
Actually, do you know what? We give me personally, I give Origi quite a bit of stick. That night, barring his 2 goals, Origi actually had an excellent performance. He was doing what he should be doing for Liverpool, as in he was holding the ball up well, he was bringing others into play, he was running the channels, he was occupying the defenders.
He's using his physicality.
Amazing. He was just amazing that night.
He's using physicality. This is where, to me, the last 10, 15 minutes, Mane really came to his own. He forever was getting balls and driving us up the pitch. winning cheap free kicks, keeping it up, keeping it simple. But it's not pretty. It's not things that people watch YouTube highlights of. But that's what you want. It just drives you up the pitch, So then Gomez comes on. So we go pretty much back five, don't we? I think Trent becomes a wing back, as does Milner. You know, we pretty much said that Origi and Mane just stay up pitch and just try and keep him busy. And then Sturridge comes on 90th minute and Shaq's pumping him up, saying, big 1 minute Daniel, because I think there's like 2 minutes left. He's pumping him up like he's got 10 minutes to go. It's like, there's literally 3 minutes to go and you're wasting a minute doing that. So come on. But then two things happen. We have a breakaway where we should make it 5. And bless, I think Henderson tries to do a step over for Sturridge and doesn't quite work out. Credit to Henderson, actually, because the other thing we forgot about is just before half time, we all thought Henderson was done. Because
his knee, wasn't it?
His knee, I mean, from what I read was at half time, he was just on the bike. He couldn't sit still because his knee seized up. I think his knee seized up as soon as the game finished. He was done.
I love that guy, man.
Yeah, but then the best game, and it's a bit of shithousery, which I quite like, as you know. From now, I love a bit of shithousery. It's brilliant. Fab gets the ball and he just drives Dietmar Hamann style. Just I'm going in a straight line. Now, Dietmar Hamann was the master of, I'm going to run a straight line and then I'm going to stop so you hit me and I'll do a roll. He was a master of doing this free kick. He did the same thing, but he got Messi to do it. And his first reaction was to point at this and go, now it's his turn for a bucket. And he goes at it. Not enough to get himself booked. And Messi has an argument with the ref saying, he's selling you to book me. And he walks off then. And the ref goes, free kick, and tells Messi to go away. That wasted a good minute. So but almost that run and foul that for being, I celebrated that like a goal.
Same. He was amazing that night.
Oh, he's immense. And you forget he's on a yellow card. He was absolutely unreal. And then the whistle goes, and you just remember Millie getting the ball, put it to a corner, gets pushed over, and Genie just not to help his mate, stands there, just puts his foot on the ball. And then it goes. Millie launches the ball. Genie and Millie are on the floor. You see the replay. Henson collapses right in front of the crowd. He can't even get up. I think Lallana has to help him up.
No, Virgil helps him up, I think.
No, that's it. I thought it was Lallana came. Well, Lallana comes over to him as well because that's his mate. And it's just a mad game, you know. I think John Bradley says, "Don't ever tell them this can't happen." And you're just like going, you know, if I could go back to anything, I wish I was on the ground for that game. My one regret in life is that, I mean, look, I never had the opportunity to get a ticket, so it's not like I gave up a ticket and went, I'm not going. But I must admit, I was like, to be in that would have been different level.
Special.
And then you go from the Mickey taking off West Brom 2-2 to a similar situation here where the whole crowd is singing for the team. And you can see like Firmino and Salah, they're all like going, you know.
For me, Salah's iconic "Never Give Up" T-shirt as well.
Which obviously a lot of people. I mean, I've got one of those T-shirts that my wife got made up for us because why would you not? I mean, look, if that goes wrong, that could have been a meme forever. You know, so it was just ridiculous. You know, the crowd was fantastic. MC is a good one for you, Cal. Barca comeback or Istanbul boys?
Barca.
Ooh, I'm saying Istanbul because it's a final.
The reason I say Barca is because we played extremely well for 90 minutes against Barca. Against AC Milan, we played extremely well for 6 minutes.
Good 6 minutes, though, wasn't it?
It was a phenomenal 6 minutes. I didn't feel as though we were lucky to win the game against Barca, and I felt as though we had luck on our side for the.
That's why I like the. That's why the Istanbul game, because it's a team that has no right to get anywhere near it. Whereas I felt the Barca team shouldn't have been 3-0 down, but had the ability to give them a game, and we did with more than match. Whereas I also the Istanbul one, it always to me I call it like a football miracle because you look at half that team, you're going,
no, I agree with that. The only thing I will say though, as you said, for the Barca game, we lose our best striker at the time, our best winger at the time. Then during the game, we lose Robbo as well, and we did that.
We had Millie though. We're sorted. What more can you want out of life? You know, you had Millie, and as Drifty would say, you had Divock. You know, but you know, Divock. Look, he had the perfect storm, and I know what people are saying. We probably should have sold him after that Champions League final. I I was glad. I was all right with him getting a contract extension, getting another year. Because thought, well, fair play to you. You've earned it. He probably should have gone after the winning the league.
Yes,
but
that's when he should have done.
But I do think what's gone on in the world where we are still now with COVID, I don't think I could afford him.
I think
Lovren
should have been sold after winning the Champions League.
I think they tried to.
Yeah.
From what I heard, they tried to. I think whoever they wanted, they couldn't get. So they asked him to stay one more year and finish his contract. That's why they let him go last summer, because I think they've done a gentleman's agreement and said, give us one more year. You're not going to play much, but then we'll let you go and you can go wherever you want to go. We won't hold you to anything else. I mean, to be fair, I mean, look, I don't think Dejan cares. He's like, look, I played 10 games. I've got a Premier League winners medal.
Yeah.
Winner.
Premier League winners and Champions League.
I mean, and people forget, I know we lost the final, but Dejan actually played very well in the Kiev final. 17-80,
he's brilliant in that game.
Yeah.
He's got the assist for Mane as well.
Yeah, unfortunately for Dejan, Matip and Gomez just went up a level. But that's kind of what your squad's to do. You want them to go up levels and keep things. So I had to then travel to London the next day because I had to work in London. Not my favourite city to go to. I hustle bustle. It's not for me. It's just not for me.
I know. If you don't grow up in London, it is rough.
Yeah, I could have bumped into you, so before you knew me, you probably would have battered me then. To be fair, but rightly so, in fairness. So I had to work, so I was staying over in a travel lodge that night. So I went to the pub next door, and it's obviously full of Tottenham fans. And I went, "Oh yeah, it's the other semi-final," and it's so hard to hide my accent, so they can't tell I'm northern. Look, I have a Liverpool shirt on, and then try not to fist pump every time. Ajax scored, and I must admit, you could feel it coming. Going, they're going to bottle this, aren't they? They're going to bottle this Ajax, aren't they? And then I could see because I've still never today worked out why Tadic doesn't just run it to the corner and stand in the corner for a minute.
No idea.
They'd have won it.
It's like Wiltord with Arsenal and Valencia back in the day as well. Wiltord
did
the same thing.
So I must admit, I had family and friends who messaged me and said, "We ain't winning that final. Why?" I was like, "It's Tottenham." It's like, yeah, but there's this myth that Tottenham have a bit of a hoodoo over us, and I'm thinking,
it's an absolute myth. It's like Crystal Palace. Everyone thinks Crystal Palace do as well. They don't.
But apart from Cristan as they like to call it, they haven't done anything since then.
They haven't.
And Tottenham haven't done very
beat us once, tell a lie.
But it's not often. And I think since probably the Harry Redknapp days where they did have our number then, I think under Klopp's only lost once to Tottenham, and that was that was the Wembley game, which, to be fair, was a bit of a catalyst to kick us on. So I think Laura rightly points out Ajax needed a seasoned hand. They did. I mean, they had Daley Blind. They probably needed one more, probably just to sort of needed like a Milner, so someone to stand up. A few in the chat saying they've never heard of his Tottenham hoodoo. Trust me, it's a thing. Certain clubs people think really have a hoodoo of them don't, and other clubs are going, "Oh, we'll always do well against City." You're going, not at the Etihad. We're shit at the Etihad. We do at Anfield, but people forget sometimes. There was a thing with Tottenham. So now the big talk was, how would Liverpool cope with a 3-week break? Because Liverpool historically don't do well with long breaks, which is a concern. Now, we thought the 3-week break could be good because it gives a chance to get Firmino fit. Obviously, there was the whole, will Harry Kane stay fit or be fit? So there was that lead up to it. I was quietly confident. I actually put a bet on 2-0 Salah first goal, probably the first time and only time in my life a bet's ever come off. Not big money. I think I only got 30 quid, but still, I'll take the wins when they come. So now the team came out, and it's, people know the team: Ali, Trent, Matip, Van Dijk, and Robbo, Henderson, Fabinho, Gini, the front three. 7 goes, obvious team, isn't it? First time that team ever played together that season, which is mad when you think about it.
That is crazy.
There's always a game where at least one of them's got a niggle or a suspension or a rotation.
Crazy.
But it's the only time that team ever played together.
Am I right in saying they haven't played since then?
Yep.
Or have they?
I don't think that team's ever played together since, and I don't think, and it never will again, because obviously because of Genie. So it's mad. The perfect moments only happen. They only played together once. So Tottenham team was a bit surprising. So the back four wasn't surprised. Trippier, who I bet they wish they still had.
Yeah.
Compared to some of the crap they've got now.
Yeah.
Adevale and Vertonghen, solid. Danny Rose, I mean, he was Danny Rose and Ben Davis. I was never a big Danny Rose fan. I
thought he was, before we got Robbo, I thought he was the best left back in the Prem.
Didn't see it with it. I always thought my thing with Rose was you could always wind him up once his head had gone. That was it. I always felt he was quite easy to wind up. The surprise to me as Liverpool was Winks started because he was supposed to be out. He plays well in this game, to be fair to him. He does, but he does the simple things well. It's a bit metronomic. Sissoko for the power. Christian Eriksen, always a threat. Dele Alli, who was starting to go on the wane, was starting to wind people up a little bit. And then Son and Kane. So obviously, Lucas Moura scores a hat-trick.
And it gets dropped.
Now, we can all say this now in hindsight, going, Kane wasn't fit, so they should have played Moura. I think if Liverpool had lost the final, there might have been a chat of, Bobby wasn't fit. Why wasn't Origi playing? Because he scored 2 to get you to the final.
Yeah, Kane and Bobby both had a terrible game as well.
Yeah. Bobby just wasn't fit. You could tell he could barely move. He was playing safe, which is not the Bobby way.
Yeah.
So, let's see. As Rajiv rightly points out, Spurs' form after a Burnley loss was 25 points from 23 games. I mean, Spurs were in terrible. They literally did go for the all eggs in the Champions League basket, which a lot mocked them for. But what's Liverpool the Rafa? We did it.
Yeah.
Under Klopp for the run to Basel, we gave up, and we were playing Brad Smith in games. Yeah. You know, God, that's what I mean. Chirivella and Brad Smith were playing regularly for us, so that's kind of what happened. A lot say it's a sluggish final. My brother went to this final, and I've asked him about the heat. He said it was ridiculously hot. He said it was unbearable. So he said he's not surprised. He said the final was slow and a bit dull. He said because he said it was awfully hot. He said great stadium though. So 23 seconds, I believe, into the game, we win our first header. Comes to Mane. And then we get the penalty, which I must admit, I haven't got it anymore now. It's soft, but two things. And Spurs fans and Matty Hayes, I'm sure he's watching because he hates me for talking about this. That type of penalty was getting given all season, especially in the Champions League. Whether you like it, you don't like it. Listen, when I was probably Matt's age watching footy, that would never have been a handball. But the question is, and I think Glenn Hill tried to say, he's pointing to someone. As I always said, if you stick your arm out, someone like a Mane is going to go, I'm going to flick it at it. Why? Because a ref might give it. Yeah. So we get a penalty. We had the infamous Alan Sugar meltdown where he said they gave them Scouts a penalty. And guess what? They didn't even check it on VAR, despite the fact they did. And there's also a UEFA video coming out where he says, I'm checking it now.
Yeah.
So you're like... So, penalty comes up. Confident?
Yes,
me too. Some say it's quite a poor penalty. Yeah, it did. It felt poetic, didn't it? I didn't understand what the celebration was about with the whole nose thing he was doing, sticking his tongue out. It was a bit of a weird celebration, but we'll see what happens. MC, guys, do you reckon Manny kicked at Sissoko on purpose? I do. Yeah, I think he played for it.
Yeah,
I think he took a flyer and hoped for the best. Yeah. So. Now I've tried to find the stat. I can't find it. I actually think that's the first time in a European final we've got ahead for quite some time. It's very rare we go ahead in European final. First final a while we got ahead.
No,
that's what I think was.
Alaves.
That's what I'm saying. Since Alaves, most of the finals we've been in, we've always gone behind. So
is that just European or in general?
I think in general it just feels like that, doesn't it? It feels like we very rarely have good starts.
So since 2001, it was the
Cardiff we went ahead in, but European finals, I'd be interested to know what our record is because
it always feels like the same season as 2001. So since 2001, I think you're right. That was the first final we went ahead.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, Cardiff. I mean, when we played Cardiff in the League Cup.
No, but they were.
Oh no, we're behind that. You're right.
Yeah.
So it's a while. So there goes spot. The celebration was for his daughter. There we go. Okay. There we go. Thank you, Emmanuel. I'm sorry. I'll say Emmanuel because I don't want to bastardize your surname, to be honest. It's just be rude, to be honest. So, thank you for that. So, there you go. So, it's a celebration for his daughter. There we go. I know for this way, Having watched some Tottenham YouTube things on that, they didn't like that celebration. Now, it was a weird second half. It was a weird half because Liverpool couldn't keep hold of the ball, but it wasn't because Tottenham were pressing them. They were just sloppy, really sloppy. Now, Milner has said in interviews since then that they'd talked about this. What do we do if we go ahead? Because they'd never been ahead under Klopp. They'd always gone behind. So, what do you do if you go ahead? And it felt like they'd just decided, we're going to make this a dead game, an absolute dead game. And if we hit him on the break, we hit him on the break. But honestly, we're going to kill the game.
Yeah.
And, almost like we're going to make it a shit final if needs be. Because we had the Trent chance when he flashed it across goal, probably isn't going to work the keeper. Laura says 70% passing accuracy, which is
less than that.
Yeah,
That's
so
terrible.
Not the best. Then we had the Robbo chance, which we also go on and hit it, but Robbo's not renowned for his goals, and it's a save Lloris to make. So, I must admit, half time 1-0, I was quite confident going. Well, apart from not getting the second, they haven't done anything. All their shots were from distance. Nothing that you'd expect Alisson to get upset about. I felt more relaxed in this final than having a Karius goal.
Yeah,
he just felt like most things.
Didn't he get man of the match for the final as well? Didn't he?
He did. I think he made 7 saves. They said in the game, but when you watch the saves back,
apart from I think it was
Son's,
Eriksen have or was it Son's one?
Yeah, he did the Eriksen free kick, which it does look a good save because in a final, when you watch it back, thinking it's a save I'd expect Alisson to make.
Yeah,
I think his best save was Son's at 2-0, which when we come to it, it's a very similar shot to what Origi scores with. Probably shows the class and keeper. So second half starts. Again, not great deals happen. I think Bobby comes off quite early. I think we take Bobby off in 58 for Origi. I mean, bless him, he just wasn't fit. I can understand why he played him, but he wasn't fit. And I'll say it now before we get to his final. Apart from his goal, I know it's a weird thing to say. Apart from his goal, he's dog turd in this game.
Terrible.
He cannot
lose the ball.
Couldn't kick it 2 yards to anyone. And we kept doing formation changes as well because we then bring Milner on for Gini. Now, if I'm being honest, I don't think Gini had a particularly good game either. I think actually once Milner came on, it allowed him and Henderson to get a bit more control.
And scores as well.
Yeah, but they kept switching Liverpool from 4-3-3 and eventually at one point we went 4-4-2. Sorry, because we just went stuck Salah right up front, play Origi in the 10, and we just went Mane and Milner wings at one point. We just went break it down, just to make it difficult for Tottenham. But I mean, Tottenham had chances, and they had some breakthrough where Virgil he tries to outrun Virgil, and Virgil just puts away. Which when you watch it back, like it looks normal to us. You can as we've seen this year, most centre backs don't do that. No. And they obviously they had quite a few. They did have a few chances. One of the best chances fell to Mora, where we save it, but it's a miss. He shanks it. My only real heart attack was when Rose gets a free kick. He's screaming for a penalty. When you watch it back, I don't even think it's a free kick. It's a good dive.
He plays for it. But Rose does that though. He always
over exaggerates.
Yeah, that's the word. Cheers.
Yeah, so the free kick comes, you're thinking like, shit, is this the moment? Is this the moment? It's a good save by Alisson. It is a good save. I think it's one he should make though. Not to be critical of it, I think it's one he should make. And then from the corner, Son flicks it on instead of going for goal, and it falls to Dele Alli. He heads it over. And I was like, oh, and that's the chance. And he watched the replay. He's actually a mile offside. So actually, for all the talk, and I hear a lot of Tottenham fans talk about it, thinking a lot of your chances were offside or weren't working us. And then Robbo puts deep cross in, and Rose chests it. Well, he chests it out. He like shoulder chests it out. Yeah. I don't think he's really done much press for Salah. It felt like a bit of pressure got to him, really.
I don't think he got a call from his keeper.
Yeah. So then I think it's Alderweireld goes off with a cut in his nose. So they delay the corner so he can come back on. New rule that I've heard.
Yeah.
So then Millie's cross comes in. Virgil goes up for the header. I think I shouted for handball because I thought
same. Yeah.
I thought he doesn't handball, but from the angle you thought, he's handballed it. So he screamed for it. Falls to Matip, who, for the only time that season, plays a lovely pass to Origi for his first assist, and Origi, it's pure. It hits it true, low, and pure. And that was it then. I think I watched it with my dad and my mate Robin and his dad, and we just went off then. Hugs and everything. And to us, you're watching going, we've won it. We've won it with 5 minutes to go. We're going to have 5 minutes now of already celebrating that we're the champions. And it's not, people say it's arrogant, people say it's, but you never normally tune up with 5 minutes to go. I'm so used to watching Liverpool finals where you're like still going like, there's a minute to go. Fucking hell, it's 4 for it. Oh, we concede in a minute, it's going to be it. You're like going, we're not going to concede two. We just didn't do that all season. It was actually poetic that the goal scorers were Salah because of what happened to him in Kiev, and Origi, who was a bit of the man of the moment. You know, he'd started to develop. It started with the goal against Everton. He had the Newcastle winner. He had the 2 goals in Barcelona. He was just about. It just became that little iconic season for him. So I was made up for him. You know, I wish I put a bet in it, to be honest, because you probably would have got good money for it.
Yeah, you would have.
And then, like I said, Tottenham's next best chance was the Son chance, which is a good low save.
Yeah.
And then right near the end, Harry Kane does what Harry Kane does, dives.
Yeah.
Doesn't get his penalty. And I have seen quite a few Tottenham fans ask recently, Matt, hello, does Harry Kane dive this much for Tottenham like he does for England? I don't know what game you've been watching, mate. Yeah. It's what Harry Kane does. Look, he's very good at it. He keeps winning. He keeps winning penalties and free kicks, but it's a horrendous dive. And if that was not the England captain, you'd have heard more about it.
Of course, he's a golden boy.
Yeah, I mean, look,
and he's a phenomenal player. Everyone knows how I feel about Harry Kane.
Yeah, there's also not pot calling kettle black here. We had it with Michael Owen. Michael Owen was fantastic at diving. I never got called on it. Why? Because he was England golden boy.
Yeah, he was. Yeah,
it's the benefit of having an England favourite.
Precisely.
Maybe we should get one. So after that,
Grealish. Grealish going to be the next person.
Oh, same as going to City, isn't it?
I'd love Grealish, man.
And you love a lot of players. Good job, McGinn, though. So
I know, but Grealish is one of those. Like, I like watching other players, but I wouldn't have them at Liverpool. But Grealish is one player I'd move. Mountain.
I think he'd fit in. So full time. Obviously, when you watch the video back, you know the two managers shake. Have you seen the celebration as the full time whistle? Bobby's forward drop. It's
that's why brilliant. I love him though, because he's so different. He's so different to everyone else.
Yeah. Have you all seen the Manny one? Pre-game. The video. I'm sure it's the Champions League final. Pre-game. Do you know they have in the middle sunset, they had like the ball where they all shake it.
Yeah.
Then Manny just dives on it. Before the game starts, he's sort of going, that's how relaxed he is. He's sitting about for the game starts. So going,
I love that guy. He's brilliant. He's actually brilliant. He's a brilliant character. But I remember even when the whole knee thing, taking the knee, he forgot to do it and he just started sprinting when the whistle went and then came back to the knee.
But even the walking, it's like a naughty schoolboy walk back. Sorry, my bad. Sorry, brilliant. My bad. He's a lovable, and so is a Div dreads were fierce. Origi's dreads were fantastic for that goal.
That's when he was like.
That's what he needs. He needs to grow his dreads back. He'd be all right.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. Now, the celebrations. I was quite choked up anyway because Liverpool won, but because my brother was there. You know, he'd been to Kiev, so I love the fact that my brother had gone to this final and we'd won. Yeah. So I was made up with that. Obviously, I was made up for Henderson. Obviously, you saw him collapse, celebrating. You know, if you've watched the 6-minute video where Klopp runs around celebrating with everyone, you know the embrace of Henderson's really emotional.
Yeah,
and Robbo's hand, which if you haven't watched it back, Robbo I think is hugging Klopp, and then Klopp goes to hug.
Yeah. But he gets his hand stuck.
But he can't. You see Rob's in that. Oh, guys, I want to go. I'm like the third person here. Oh no! And then the other bit that's probably iconic about this win is Hendo sees his dad.
And his dad, yeah,
and
that
you just
chokes me up.
The FIFA video where you just hear his voice go, "Dad," and you see him hug his dad. You know, having lost someone to cancer myself, you know. You do have that affinity of, you know, his dad survived it, you know, so, and he's very likable, Henderson. Yeah. So, you know, so enjoying that. Obviously, Milner doing the 6 celebration, and then we got to the trophy lift, and we saw the birth of the Hendo Shuffle,
yes,
which is now a thing.
Yeah.
What I love about
it, FIFA now as well, isn't it?
Yeah. What I love about it is it was a bit different. So he did his own thing, which I quite like, and it's now an iconic thing. And it winds up opposition fans because they all hate it.
Yeah.
And I was like, number 6. So I was just like, this is brilliant. Life doesn't get much better than this until next year.
Yeah.
Until next season. So, so which is your favourite? That one or 2005?
Oh.
I'd say I'd throw a curveball into you.
Is this, I'm going to cheat a little bit and ask you a question. Is this the whole...
No, the final
campaign, just the final.
Actually, no. No. Go on. Okay, whole campaign then.
Let's see whole campaign. Oh gosh.
Chat, you can answer too. Let me know what you think as well.
Barring the Barca game at home, like Porto was routine. Bayern Munich, we kind of just did a professional job there. The final was poor. I'm gonna go with the campaign of 2004-5.
I've got that one as well. My reason is in my head is I think everyone has this. What's your first? In my head, my first European Cup is 05. And I always think your first is more special. The fact it was one of the great European finals is also there as well. I do also have a soft spot for 2001. So if I was ranking them, I'd probably go 05, 01, this one.
See, mine would be the other way around. It'd be 05, 2019, and then 01.
Yeah, I think 01 because I was 17, I was 18 for the final. So that was my first European final for Liverpool. 2005 obviously tops it because it's the European Cup. So I feel like I've seen both of these things before. It was just that 2009 was a lovely surprise, but very very professionally done. Apart from the group stage, I mean, it always felt like
29. As Kev says in the chat as well, we did back-to-back Champions League finals.
It's mad, isn't it?
That's crazy.
We'd also done, you think 2019, 2020. We did back-to-back title-winning form.
Yeah.
I know we didn't win it in one year because we missed out to a fabulous City side, but it was 2 years of doing title-winning form as well. We're only. You always think like 2009, what could have been 2018. You could have been looking at a double. So,
I think,
cool.
Dare I say, Adrian doesn't make the mistake he makes against Atletico Madrid. I think we could have potentially won it that season as well.
Yeah, he could have done. I do wonder what would happen in that one-legged talk because you'd have had no Henderson for the knockout stages because he was done. He'd done his knee, hadn't he?
True, yeah.
So, it's all if buts and maybes. But listen. It's 11:30, Callum, so I think we should let people go. I'm going to start getting told off and making people stay late again.
It's my last one of the series, man.
Last one, I know. Listen, mate, thanks for doing this. I've had you on 5 of these. So, listen, I've enjoyed this. It's a bit of a change to talk about the Euros. It's quite nice to reminisce, even about the ones we lost, because you forget, I think sometimes it makes you appreciate you're very fortunate that Liverpool's your club. Because I've now been able to talk for 6 weeks about 6 European campaigns.
Crazy.
3 we've won, 3 we've lost. There aren't many clubs that can also do that, and apart from Real Madrid, but the 6 there's a Makey Uppie, so we don't count them. United could talk about that, but I mean, you think in the modern era, United have obviously had the 2 finals they won, the 2 finals they've lost, and they've had 2 Europa League finals. So I think United is probably the only one, and Chelsea. So there are some there are some biggish clubs that can only talk about a couple of European finals. So, I think we're fortunate we can comfortably talk about 6. And obviously, we can talk about the ones in the 70s and 80s, but politely, 70s I wasn't born, 80s I was a kid. So I've got no memory of it, apart from watching videos. That's not really what we're here for. So, listen, we'll probably do something similar again soon. As suggested, maybe we do a bit of a season review of the year we won the league. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do that one yet. So, next week, I haven't actually got a clue what we're going to do yet, so we'll think of that. I need to start planning something because I've lovely 6 weeks planned out, thinking all sorted, and now I've gone, season will start next week. I need to actually plan for Friday night, so wait by your phone, Cal. But listen, thanks to anyone who's watching. Please like, please subscribe. Remember, we're on the race now to 20k, but when we get to 11k, we will donate another €100 to Sienna Fund, which segues nicely into. If you haven't seen it, please go to our Twitter page. We are doing a virtual ticket sale, which is it'll cost you €1 to buy a ticket, and the aim is to virtually fill Anfield. Now, let me stress, you're not getting a ticket to Anfield. You're not getting a ticket to the game. We're trying to virtually sell the capacity of Anfield out. It'll cost you €1 a ticket. So listen, buy 1, buy 2, buy 10. The aim is that is all going to go to Sienna's fund. We need to get this young lady to 120k. And as Gav has rightly pointed out, is she starts school not this September, next September. And what the aim we'd love to see is her get this treatment so a mum could watch her do her first day in school and walk in like all the other kids. So if you don't do anything else, please give to that. Please do the hashtag Sienna steps. That's all I ask for. That's more important than actually subscribing and liking at the moment. We're just going to hammer this until this girl gets something. So, you know, if I could ask for anything else, that's all I'd ask for. And listen, those of you who've already liked, subscribed, who've shared Sienna, who've already given towards it, thank you very much. So it's much appreciated. But anyway, until next Friday when I'll make something up, you know, I'm not sure. Maybe I'll do it. Maybe a draft or something. I don't know. I might get Callum to do a draft. So until then, thanks for tuning in. Please take care of yourselves and keep your eye out for more fun on the LFC Daytrippers.
Thank you.